Hello, my radiant solar-powered Leo souls. Welcome back to Cosmic Wisdom, your sacred sanctuary for celestial insight and the awakening of your highest potential. I am so deeply honored to be your guide as we navigate the golden currents of your destiny. If you have found your way to this message today, I want you to take a moment and simply breathe. Feel the warmth in your chest that is your internal sun, your lion's heart, and it is beating with a new urgent rhythm for a reason. Leo, let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with the sanctuary of your own soul. Are you tired? Are you weary of being the one who cheers the loudest for everyone else, while your own victories seem to be perpetually delayed? Have you sat in the quiet of the night, watching the moon, and wondering why the universe feels so loud for others, but so strangely silent for you? You see that friend, that colleague, that person on social media who started their journey long after you did, and yet they are already standing on the mountaintop you've been climbing for years. You've watched people who put in half the heart, half the sweat, and a fraction of the integrity you possess, yet they are the ones reaping the rewards. You've carried this weight with the typical dignity of a lion's shoulders back, head held high, refusing to complain because you were born to be the pillar of strength for everyone else. But behind that magnificent golden mane, a part of you is whispering, perhaps even screaming, "When is it my turn? Does the universe see me? Have I been forgotten in the shadows of my own light?" I am here to tell you, with the full authority of the cosmos behind me, that your time has not just arrived, it has erupted. This is no longer a conversation about if or maybe. We are talking about a matter of days. You are no longer pacing at the back of the pack. You are literally at the front of the line. The cosmic gates are swinging open, and your name is the one being called. But before we dive into the breathtaking specifics of this transition, I have a special invitation for you. If you can feel this truth vibrating in your bones, I want you to claim it right now. Please subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom so you never miss these life-altering activations. And in the comments below, I want you to seal this intention by typing the following: "I have waited in silence, and now I know my turn has come." By doing this, you are not just typing words. You are announcing to the great architect of the universe that you are ready to step into your throne. Now, Leo, let's look at the truth of your journey. You were born under the sun, the center of our solar system. You are designed to shine, to lead, and to provide warmth. But what happens when the sun feels like it's been eclipsed for too long? All those lessons you've had to learn, the lessons in humility, the lessons in patience, the lessons in finding your worth when no one was clapping, they weren't meant to punish you. They were meant to refine you. The divine withheld your blessings, not because you were found wanting, but because what is being prepared for you is so massive, so spectacular, and so specifically tailored to your regal nature that it required you to become a different version of yourself before you could hold it. An ordinary blessing can be handled by an ordinary person, but you are a Leo. You are being prepared for a lion's share. Can you feel that subtle vibration in the air around you? It's a hum, a frequency that tells you the atmosphere of your life is changing. It isn't that false hope you felt before, the kind that sparkles for a moment and then leaves you in deeper darkness. No, this is different. This is a quiet, unshakable certainty. It's the feeling of a predator who knows the hunt is over and the feast is about to begin. Even if you are trying to protect your heart by being skeptical, the universe is leaving signs everywhere. Look at the coincidences that aren't coincidences. Notice the doors that are suddenly unlatching without you having to kick them down. The right people are whispering your name, in rooms you haven't even entered yet. You've been hesitant to believe because you've been burned before. You thought it was your season last year or the year before, only to find yourself back in the waiting room. But I'm telling you this time, the Divine Architect is warning you directly. Get your house in order. Prepare the banquet table. Because you are next. This isn't just a small win. This is total compensation. It is back pay for every silent tear, every night you felt invisible, and every time you showed up with a smile to help someone else win, while your own heart was breaking. Leo, your nature is to be the hero. You work hard, you lead with passion, and you build with a sense of legacy. You aren't someone who looks for the easy way out. You've always done things the right way, the honorable way, even when it was the hardest path available. And it hurt, didn't it, to see the cheaters prosper, to see the shallow people get the applause, while your depth was ignored. You started to wonder if being a person of character was actually a liability. You wondered if the universe had favorites, and if somehow you had fallen off the list. But here is the cosmic wisdom you need to hear today. The universe never forgot the sun. Those who moved ahead of you in line were receiving seed-level blessings. They got what they could handle. But you were being prepared for the harvest-level blessing. You are a fixed fire sign. Your fire is meant to sustain, not just to flare up and die out. Therefore, your foundation had to be forged in a much hotter furnace. Every disappointment was a refinement of your gold. Every delay was a strengthening of your spirit. What is coming to you would crush a lesser person. It requires the backbone of a lion and the heart of a king or queen. Let's look at the specific cosmic timing for the Leos listening. If you were born in the first 10 days of Leo season, late July, your blessing is manifesting as a profound professional or financial shift. A recognition of your sovereignty is coming that will leave you breathless. For those born in the middle of the season, early August, your blessing is entering the realm of the heart. You have loved deeply and often been underappreciated. The universe is bringing a soul-level connection or a healing of a relationship that will make up for every time you felt like you were too much for the wrong people. And for those born in the final stretch of Leo, mid-August, an impossible door is about to fly off its hinges. A path that seemed permanently blocked by a mountain is suddenly becoming a level highway. Regardless of your birth date, the theme for all Leos right now is the shift from being the giver to the receiver. You've spent lifetimes being the one who provides the light. Now the universe is turning its spotlights on you. You've been stuck for so long, feeling like you were treading water while the world moved on. But that period of stagnation was actually a period of incubation. I want you to think about the lion's den. Sometimes you have to go into the dark to realize that the dark has no power over you. God saw every sacrifice. He saw the times you gave your last bit of energy to a friend. He saw the times you were the only one who stayed to finish the job. He recorded every act of faith when you had zero evidence that things would get better. And now, he is issuing the reward decree. Do you feel that stirring in your chest right now? It's a mix of excitement and a little bit of terror, isn't it? The ego is afraid of being disappointed again. But your soul, your high vibrational Leo soul, knows I'm telling the truth. This is a divine announcement. You are no longer at the back. You are at the door. But I must give you a warning, Leo. To walk through this door, you must drop the baggage. And for a Leo, the heaviest baggage is often bitterness. I know you don't like to think of yourself as bitter. You're the generous lion, right? But be honest with me. In the deepest corners of your heart, is there a little resentment toward the people who had it easier as there a twinge of, why them? When you see someone less talented getting the glory, this bitterness is the only thing that can act as an energetic blockade to your new abundance. You cannot wear a crown if your head is bowed in resentment. You must make peace with the weight. You must look at everyone who succeeded before you and say, I am genuinely happy for you because your success proves that the system works. Your blessing didn't take away mine. It just paved the way. When you can celebrate another person's harvest, you prove to the universe that you are finally ready for your own. Leo, your strength is legendary, but your emotional stubbornness can be your downfall. You hold on to old hurts because you think letting them go is a sign of weakness. You think that if you forgive those who overlooked you, you're saying what they did was okay. It's not about them, it's about you. It's about clearing the throne room of your heart so that the new king or queen of your life can sit down. Let the old stories of not being enough or being passed over burn away in your Leo fire. They are just ash now. Tangible movements are starting. Watch for the random phone calls. Watch for the emails that seem to come out of the blue. These aren't luck. This is divine orchestration. The universe is moving the furniture of your life to make room for a massive expansion. You'll look back in 6 months and realize that if this had happened 2 years ago, you would have wasted it. You weren't ready to lead then. You were still seeking validation. Now, you don't need the applause to know you're great. And that is exactly when the universe gives you the standing ovation. One of the most beautiful things about this Leo rebirth is that you've kept your heart soft. You could have become a cynical lion. You could have become a predator who only cares about themselves. But you didn't. You stayed kind. You stayed honest. You kept your word even when it cost you. And that is why you can be trusted with this new level of power. The universe knows that when you become wealthy, you will be a philanthropist. When you become powerful, you will be a protector. When you become famous, you will be an inspiration. You are the kind of leader the world needs right now, one who remembers what it was like to be at the bottom of the line. The line didn't move because your number was drawn. It moved because you passed the final test, the test of remaining yourself in the face of delay. In the coming days, I want you to perform a ritual of space creation. Clean your physical home. Get rid of the clothes that represent the struggling version of you. Figuratively clear out the relationships that drain your battery. You are moving into a high-speed lane now. Things are going to happen fast. Decisions that used to take a year will happen in a weekend. You might feel a little dizzy. You might feel imposter syndrome creeping in, whispering that you aren't ready for this much success. Ignore it. You have been in training for a decade for what is about to happen in a month. Leo, your turn has come. The waiting room is empty, and the throne room is open. This is your glorious, well-deserved cosmic promotion. When you receive it, and you will remember this moment. Remember this cosmic wisdom. You were never forgotten. You were just being prepared for the headline act. If this message set your soul on fire, if you felt like I was reading the private pages of your journal, then please share this in the comments. Let your fellow Leos know that the lion is rising. Subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom to stay aligned with this new speed of life. We are going to be right here with you, providing the guidance you need to manage this new abundance without losing your soul. Turn on your notifications. You don't want to miss what we have planned next for the Summer of the Lion. Your transformation from the one who waits to the one who leads is the greatest story the stars have told this century. I wish you an abundance of golden opportunities, a heart full of peace, and the courage to finally accept that you are exactly who the universe has been waiting for. Go forth, Leo, and shine so bright that the world has no choice but to see the truth of who you are. Let's go even deeper into the psychology of the lion during this transition. You see Leo as a fire sign, your energy is fixed. This means you have an incredible capacity for loyalty and persistence. But the shadow side of fixed energy is that you can get stuck in a vibration of waiting. You can become so used to the struggle that you accidentally make the struggle a part of your identity. Have you ever noticed that you start to introduce yourself as the person who is working hard to get there instead of the person who has already arrived? I want to offer a new perspective today, a personal opinion I've formed after watching thousands of Leo transits. The reason Leos are often made to wait longer than others is because a Leo's success isn't just about the Leo. Your success is a public service. When a Leo wins, they create an ecosystem of success around them. Think about a lion in the wild. They are the apex. When the lion thrives, the entire savanna remains in balance. If the lion is weak or starving, the whole system falls apart. The divine architecture of your life required you to be starved for a little while so that you would never take your prey for granted. You needed to know what it felt like to be the underdog, so that when you are the top dog, you lead with empathy. Let's talk about divine compensation. This is a term we use a lot here at Cosmic Wisdom. It's the idea that the universe keeps a celestial ledger. Every time you were underpaid for your talent, that goes in the ledger. Every time you were overlooked for a promotion you deserved, that goes in the ledger. Every time a partner took your light and gave you back coldness, that goes in the ledger. Right now, the Cosmic Auditor is reviewing your account. And because you are a Leo, the universe doesn't just pay you back in installments. It pays you back in a lump sum. This is why things are about to feel fast. You are receiving years of back pay all at once. Have you ever felt like you were too much for people? This is a common Leo wound. You're told to tone it down, to be less loud, to not take up so much space. I want to give you a piece of personal wisdom. The people who told you to be smaller were only doing so because your light was highlighting their own dust. You were never too much. They were just too little. As you move to the front of the line, you are going to encounter those same people again. They will see your new abundance, your new glow, and your new success. They will try to come back into your circle. They will say, "I always knew you could do it." Here is where your new sovereignty comes in. A king or queen does not hold a grudge, but they do guard the gates of the palace. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to protect your energy. This new season of your life is not for the people who doubted you in the old season. It is for the people who saw your light even when you were in the dark. Let's do a visualization exercise together. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you are standing in a long, dim hallway. Behind you are all the years of waiting. To your left and right are doors that never opened. But at the end of this hallway is a set of massive golden double doors. As you walk toward these doors, I want you to feel the weight of every no you've ever received falling off your shoulders like old heavy armor. With every step you are getting lighter, you are getting younger, you are getting more vibrant. Now you are standing at the golden doors. There is a handle in the shape of a lion's head. You reach out, and as your hand touches the gold, it feels warm, not hot, but comforting. You push the doors open, and the light that hits your face is more brilliant than anything you've ever seen. It's the light of your self-actualization. Inside this room, everything you've ever prayed for is already there. But it looks different than you imagined. It looks better. The career is there, but it has more freedom than you thought possible. The love is there, but it has more respect than you've ever experienced. The health is there, and it feels like a fountain of youth. This room is your new reality. And the best part, there is no one else in the room. You don't have to compete for it. You don't have to share it until you are ready to invite guests. Open your eyes. How does that feel? That feeling of expansiveness is your true state. I want to add a different perspective on the idea of fair use and fair rewards. In the legal world, fair use allows us to take something existing and transform it into something new. In the spiritual world, your weight was a fair use of your time. The universe took your old life and transformed it into a masterpiece. Some people might say, "Oh, Leo is just lucky." They won't see the 300 a.m. prayers. They won't see the tears you shed in the shower so no one would know you were hurting. They won't see the thousands of hours you spent perfecting your craft while everyone else was out partying. Don't let them call it luck. Call it alignment. You aligned your character with your destiny, and the universe simply responded to the call. I have been studying the Leo archetype for a long time, and I've noticed that Leos often have a secret dream, something they don't even tell their best friends because it feels too big or too crazy. Maybe it's a book you want to write. Maybe it's a business that changes the world. Maybe it's a move to a different country. I want you to tell me about that secret dream in the comments. Let's create a manifestation vortex right here in the Cosmic Wisdom community. When you speak your dream into a community of like-minded souls, you give it oxygen. You make it real. Let's talk about the lion's den of bitterness again, because this is so important. Bitterness is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. When you resent someone else's success, you are telling the universe, "Success is a limited resource, and they took my peace." But the universe is infinite. There is no shortage of blessings. The sun doesn't run out of light just because it shines on 1,000 planets. There is enough for everyone. When you realize this, you stop being a competitive lion and you start being a generous lion. I have a personal opinion on why Leos are the heart of the zodiac. It's because the heart is the only organ that pumps to itself first and then to the rest of the body. You must pump love and recognition to yourself first. If you are waiting for the world to tell you you're great, you will always be hungry. But if you decide today, right now, that you are the king of your own domain, the world will have no choice but to follow your lead. Let's look at the practical steps for this week. Step 1. Clear the clutter. If your desk is a mess, your mind is a mess. If your closet is full of old you clothes, there's no room for new you robes. Step 2. Watch your words. Stop saying, "I'm trying." Start saying, "I am becoming." Stop saying, "If it happens." Start saying, "When it arrives." Step 3. Practice the royal walk. Even if you are just walking to the grocery store, walk with the posture of someone who owns the building. These small physical activations send a signal to your nervous system that the danger is over. You spent so long in survival mode that your body might be addicted to cortisol. You need to retrain your body to be addicted to dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals of reward. Now I want to address the doubters. There might be someone listening who thinks, "I've heard this all before. Every astrologer says it's my turn and nothing ever happens." To you, my dear weary lion, I say this: you were right. In the past, it wasn't your turn. You were being lied to by people who just wanted to give you a sugar high. But look at your life right now. Look at the pressure you've been under lately. Pressure is what turns coal into diamonds. If the pressure has been unbearable lately, it's because the diamond is finally finished. The universe doesn't apply this much pressure for no reason. You aren't being crushed, you are being polished. Think about the phoenix, another fire archetype. The phoenix has to burn completely to ashes before it can rise. Maybe 2024 or 2025 felt like a burn year for you. Maybe you lost things you thought you'd have forever. Good. Those things were dry wood. They were holding you back. You can't fly if you're carrying dead weight. The fire of the last few years cleared the field so that you could build something fireproof. What's coming to you now is eternal. It isn't a trend. It isn't a fad. It is your divine inheritance. Leo, the cosmic wisdom for today is simple. The wait was the work. You didn't just wait, you wrought. You crafted a soul that is strong enough to handle glory. I want to take a moment to speak to the Leos who are parents or mentors. You've been so worried about the people under your care. You've been trying to shield them from the wind, even while you are being blown over yourself. Your success is going to provide a windbreak for everyone you love. When you rise, you are taking them with you. Your breakthrough is a generational breakthrough. Imagine the look on the faces of the people who counted you out. I want you to visualize that for a second. Not from a place of revenge, but from a place of vindication. There is a difference. Revenge is lower vibrational. It keeps you tied to the person who hurt you. Vindication is higher vibrational. It's about the truth finally being revealed. The truth is, you were always the lion. They just tried to put you in a cage and call you a house cat. But the cage is broken. The line has reached the front. The sun is at its zenith. Before I leave you today, I want to remind you of your community responsibility. When you get that big check, when you get that new title, when you find that soulmate love, don't disappear. Stay here with us at Cosmic Wisdom. Use your new platform to help the Tauruses and the Scorpios and the Aquarians who are still in their waiting period. We are all walking each other home. And remember, Leo, you don't have to roar to be powerful. Sometimes the most powerful thing a lion does is simply exist in their own space, unafraid and unbothered. I am so proud of you. I am proud of the way you didn't give up. I am proud of the way you kept your heart open in a world that tried to close it. Your turn has come. Finally, gloriously, deservedly. One last time, if you haven't subscribed, do it now. Join the pride. Let's walk into this new era together. I'll see you in the next video where we'll talk about how to manage your new abundance so you never have to go back to the waiting room again. Go forth and be the sun. The world has been cold for too long, and it's time for you to warm it up. I love you, Leo. Your majesty is showing.